Program Director, President of SANCO, the leadership of SANCO elected here, the leadership of the African National Congress, both here in the province, under the leadership of Comrade Siboniso Duma, the leadership of the ANC at the national level, members of the National Executive Committee are here, ministers and deputy ministers, and various comrades who are in the leadership at the local government level, comrades and friends. It is indeed an honor to be present here, and particularly after the occasion was opened by my Svali, who says he wants a cow from me. Bishop Ngiyabonga, you will have to come home uzoyilanda le nkomo. It is indeed a real honor to be speaking at this fundraiser dinner as a precursor to your conference tomorrow. We have missed Sanko in the political landscape of our country. You've been missing, and we have felt the empty space that you were not occupying for the longest time. And we're glad to hear that much as the court has sought to bring you together, it was your will as the members and leaders of SANCO to come together. And we applaud you, and we will even applaud you more tomorrow. We know that as the delegates arrive and they are traveling, they will have traversed a difficult road to come to a conference that is going to unite all of you. All of us in the Alliance know the price of disunity. When you were disunited, we did pay a very heavy price. And we saw it in the 2021 elections. You were missing in action. And that is the price we paid as the Alliance. Because had you been there, working side by side with the African National Congress, the party, and COSATU, the outcome would have been far different from the outcome that we got in 2021. Now in 2024, zizobhe zijikile izinto. I am certain that as you are rebuilding and putting in place the structures of SANCO, the challenges that face us now will have diminished, and towards 2024, with SANCO working side by side, we will be victorious. Now, learning from the past, we should all be focused on our people's cause and should be marshalling all our energies towards finding solutions to the challenges that our people are facing. When we engage our people, they do raise a number of challenges and problems. And you, as the organization of Abahlali, the people on the ground, you know those challenges better than all. You know what it means when they say they are suffering from the high cost of living. You know what it means when they say the unemployment is a major problem to them. And you know what it means when they talk about poverty. And you also know what it means when they talk about load shedding and all the other attendant problems. Our people worry about the poor state of local government and ask that we should do better in serving them. And Sanko, a 31-year-old organization, knows what it means to deliver services to our people. And now that you are resuscitated, now that the giant that has been sleeping, that is Sanko, is awaking, we will be able to join hands in serving our people, because they're raising concerns that they expect their movement to address, but they also expect the civic movement to play a key role in addressing those challenges. Because civic organizations, SANCO in particular, enable our people to organize themselves based on specific local issues and often attract a broader section of the population to themselves. Now, you advisedly, and this is a wise decision, as we were meeting, President, you will recall, you said the wisest words that Sanko is not going to contest for elections, as you must not, because you are a civic organization. You are not a political party. Now, because civic organizations play a critical role in promoting and strengthening democratic institutions. That's the role you play. They are important for a number of reasons, some of which are they are the ones that build communities much more effectively because you work right across the various strains of community organizations. You are civic organizations because you bring people together to foster a sense of belonging and connectedness within a community. You provide, as Sanko, a platform for people to be together, to share ideas and to work towards common goals, thereby strengthening what? Social cohesion. You are also an organization that should be the advocate of our people in the places where they live. Civic organizations, and in our case as the Congress movement, you work together, yes, with ANC branches, with COSATU locals, with SACP districts, we all work together. But you have the mantle as a civic organization of going even deeper into the issues that affect our communities. Because you give a voice to citizens across the board. You advocate their interests, and you play a crucial role in representing diverse perspectives in the community and ensuring that the needs and concerns of different groups within society are heard and addressed. But of course, as Sanko, you have never lost your radar. Your radar is the Congress movement. And you have always known that the movement, the Congress movement, is led by none other than the African National Congress. You've always known that, and you've always adhered to that. And that is what makes you strong. And as a civic movement, and when you operate as a civic movement, one of the values that you promote, and one of the values that you uphold and should uphold, is accountability, because you account across various interest groups in society, and transparency as well. You help to promote this accountability by monitoring the actions and decisions of those who are, yes, in government and public officials. You hold those in power accountable, and you should work towards greater transparency and openness in public affairs. That is your role, and that is your responsibility. But you are also lucky, because as Sanko, you do it with a revolutionary purpose. You are grounded on Congress movement principles. You know what your role is, and you know what the Congress movement has imparted to you in the way of principles, traditions, and values. As a civic organization, you are an organization that works for social change. Social change by addressing important issues in society. Issues such as social justice. Issues such as respect for the position and the role of women. And you are the ones who campaign and should lead the campaign alongside women's organizations and men's organizations that work against gender-based violence. Your voice on gender-based violence must be a lot higher, because you serve all of society across the board. Yes, you also should, as a civic organization, be very strong on environmental accountability. Environmental accountability that should result in the cleanliness of the places where we live. And I should say here, as Sanko, you should be the leading voice of ensuring that our towns are clean, our townships are clean, and the litter that you always find in areas where our people live. It is Sanko that must lead the charge to clean up South Africa, to clean up the places where we live. So your responsibility as an organization is not, comrades, only political. Yes, you're an organization that has a political orientation, but you're also an organization that takes up issues that our people experience on a daily life. And I'd like you to keep on remembering that. The ANC is a political organization. It will champion the issues that affect our people, yes, at a political, social, economic. You champion those issues that run right across society. But you also should take up issues, working together with other organizations like the ANC, your real mother organization, that affect the people of our country. And you mobilize communities, you raise awareness, and create platforms for collective action. Where, for instance, an ANC branch is asleep at the steering wheel, it is Sanko that must wake it up and say, "Vuka, ANC, vuka." So this is meaning that we have a symbiotic relationship, a relationship where the two organizations continue to work together. Now, I'm really pleased to be here because your unity in the end is a real demonstration of the respect of the way of working that I am describing. And as a civic organization, it is crucial that you should focus on serving the interests of the marginalized and vulnerable people in our society. If anybody should know those who are really suffering In every street of our country, every village, it is Sanko. The Sanko that should know. Ukuthi kule andlu bayahlupheka. Kule andlu i-grant ayikho because abantwana, they don't have ID books or ID and so on and so on. It is Sanko because you are rooted in the communities. And that is how we perceive Sanko. And that is how we want Sanko to work. It is through the support and assistance that you give our people, be it healthcare issues, education issues, poverty alleviation, disaster relief, and so forth and so on. We've had a number of disasters, even here in KZN. Now, when you were divided and pulling in different directions, I think some of us felt your absence because you should have been there. As food parcels were being sent around, and abanye bechoncha ama food parcels, you should have been there to make sure that it does not happen, because you are someone. Now, it is important that you should remember the role that is expected of you. What is expected of you is not to stand up on platforms and just regurgitate political slogans. Being in Sanko means working on the ground. It means work. It's not just to wear the badge, you go to 31 years old, no. It is real work. And comrades, if there ever was a time when we need organizations that are deeply rooted amongst our people doing real work, this is the time. We left with literally, I would say, 4 months before the elections. 4 months. Discount December, part of January, and thereafter. I don't know when the election will happen. They keep saying, oh, the president, there's the president. But we are left with very little time. And it is you, Sanko. And this is where we need a real demonstration that Sanko ivukile. Comrades, it must not only be in name. We must see it, we must feel it, and our people must see that this is the organization of our people working side by side with the ANC. I'm glad to hear you say, Uti, the victory that we achieved yesterday in Msunduzi, it's also largely because of the Sanko. I'm happy and I'm applauding. Now it would have happened because you would have been working side by side with the ANC. And there are other elections that are coming. So I want to see that Sanko is going to be working and campaigning alongside the African National Congress as we win, which we must, win more by-elections leading up to the national elections. Now, the other important role, of course, is to bridge divides. You must become the oil in the system that bridges the divides that there can be in society, engendering understanding and cooperation among different groups. And you are the ones who must create spaces for people to talk, and whether you call it compromise or whatever, I don't call it compromise, I call it working together and collaborating to find solutions based on mutual respect as well as tolerance. So in summary, comrades, as a civic organization, you are an important organization for building communities, and we want you to be strong. We want you to be united, and you said, never again shall you be divided, and we applaud that. We in the African National Congress, past our conference, we've been forging unity. We've been forging principled unity. And people may not like it, but we've become much more united than we were in the past few years. And this unity is going to be fully consolidated, indeed, as we go for our victory again in 2024. People think that no, the ANC is not going to perform well. They are dreaming. They are going to see how well the ANC will perform. So comrades, I applaud you and I wish you the best. And tomorrow we will get an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the challenges that we face and how we respond to those, yes, who are criticizing us, but also how we should look back to the past 30 years, to past few years that we have traversed, the challenges and the difficulties and the progress that we have made, because we have made tremendous progress. Those who have eyes and those who have ears can and have been hearing the real narrative, because the narrative that is being propagated all over is different from the reality of the narrative that is on the ground. And so you are therefore going to play an important role in, President, as you were saying, articulating this narrative so that those who are commentators, those who are analysts or whatever they are called, should be hearing the many voices that come from the Congress movement, many voices that will be talking and should be talking about how the lives of our people have changed. I spent the better part of last weekend in Gauteng and particularly in the Tshwane area and in the Ekurhuleni area. And people were coming in their thousands to come and hear how we are going to further change their lives. Yes, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Challenges of water, challenges of poverty, unemployment, and they want to hear what the African National Congress is doing. And we are doing a great deal right now to change our people's lives. The ANC exists just for one thing, important thing, to transform the lives of our people and to make sure that we ensure that the people of our country get a better life through the various strategic objectives that the movement set itself to achieve. So our experience over the last 30 years has consistently proven that civil movements continue to fulfill a critical function in South African society. And tomorrow we'll talk more about that. But for tonight, I applaud you, I join you in celebrating your 31 years of existence. I do want, however, that you should remember what Sanko is all about. It is about all the issues that I've been referring to. Happy 31 years. Thank you very much.